Hello everyone, welcome to the Arthur Conan Doyle Center YouTube channel. My name is Kat and I will do a tarot reading for you today. So the topic of today's reading will be what makes you beautiful. I think it's really nice to hear some good things about you and yes, we'll see how it goes. So with this reading I was thinking about anything that makes you beautiful, whether it is something energetic, whether it's something on the physical level, and yeah, I will see what the cards show us. So just to introduce you to some of the decks I will be using today. So this one, Margaret Peterson Tarot, it's a really lovely one. I got it from my friend for Christmas, so these illustrations are very, I would say they are very mystical, so just to show you a couple of cards. So for example, the Sun, well that's quite obvious, but let's see the other one. So this would be the Hermit card. We have the Ace of Wands and so on. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, they're quite nice. I really like the colors and they're very expressive, so we will use that just to get some of that energy in. Then another deck I will be using, it's actually one of my favorites. It's called the Ethereal Visions and it has so much gold on it. It's so beautiful. And just to show you a few cards. Wait, let me find some of the really gold ones. So for example, the Emperor. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but yeah, there's a lot of gold. It's really shiny. And the illustrations are also really beautiful. So I will be using that. Also another deck will be the Moonology deck. So let me just... Okay, so that's this one. It talks about the phases of the moon, full moon, new moon. Also the zodiac signs, so it's very useful on top of tarot. And then I'll be using the regular Rider-Waite deck, so just a tiny one. And then the last one will be the Tarot of the Golden Wheel, I think that's how it's called. So it also has really nice illustrations, so I think it will really help us to read the energies and, well, share what makes you beautiful. Okay, so I have 4 groups today, and you can choose from a vase. I've learned it's a vase, not a vase. So a flower vase. So we have group number 1. This is a very light, I'd say it's a light blue color with lots of swirls, if that's what you're interested in. Then there's this one with some bluebells and a little dragonfly. A really nice green one. I really like that color. And then group number 4, this one with this really pearly kind of effect and some flowers. Okay, so take a second to pick your group. So it's group 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then I will start the reading. Okay, hello group 1. If you chose this vase, this is your reading. So what makes you beautiful? So I will shuffle just a few of the decks, I'll get a few cards and we'll see where it will take us. So as always, I don't really have a structure for this, but we'll see. So I'll start with that lovely mystical tarot deck, the one from Margaret Peterson. So I was thinking maybe let's get 1 card from each deck, just to get all different styles, different illustrations, different energies, and I will see what we will get. Okay, so for group 1, what makes you beautiful? Okay, so let's take 1 from this deck, and then 1 from the Moonology deck. Then 1 from the Ethereal Visions. And 1 from the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. And then one from the Rider-Waite. But even before I start reading the cards, just to describe what I get from this vase in particular, there's something very, very gentle about it. It's because of the color. It's so serene. It makes me think of blue lace agate. If you have seen that crystal, if you haven't, definitely look it up. It's that sort of color. It's very calm, very gentle. And with that color, it also makes me think of the throat chakra. So really speaking the truth, being very clear about what do you think, what do you feel. And I think that can be a very beautiful energy when we're authentic and where we really speak what's on our mind. And we speak it in a gentle way because we don't always have to be very direct or very, rough in what we say. So here, because of the swirls, because of the color, it's a very gentle flowing energy. But we will see what the cards will tell us. Okay, so let's see. So we have the Son of Coins, we have Full Moon in Leo, we have the Page of Wands in reverse, the Eight of Swords in reverse, and then the Page of Pentacles. So that's very interesting because we have the Son of Coins and then the Page of Pentacles. To me, it would be the same card. It's just called differently. So first of all, looking at these two cards, there is a very practical, very earthy energy about you. And with the earth element, I feel like it's very... it's being able to really navigate in the physical world, being able to find your way through, knowing when to do certain things, when to take a break, for example, taking care of yourself on the physical level, getting enough sleep, making sure that you eat good things. And I feel like once you know how to navigate that, that physical realm, it can really reflect in the way you look. Because if you think about even the physical body, if you don't have enough sleep, if you don't eat well, if you don't drink enough water, you can really see that with some people. But here, having all this earth energy, it does tell me that just on a physical level, you can look very healthy, you can look very, very grounded. And you know how some people seem to be a bit absent-minded, they don't seem fully there, and you talk to them and they're like, what, did you say something? So that's not you. You're always present, whether it is just in everyday life, whether it's about the conversations that you have with people. You are very practical. You really pay attention to what's happening on the physical level. Also with the colors that I'm seeing here, so in this card and the Page of Pentacles here, even this Full Moon in Leo, there is a lot of yellow and orange colors. And to me, these are very optimistic, very vibrant, very warm colors. So despite this gentleness here with that, all the swirls and all these colors with the vase, there is warmth about you. There is a lot of... it makes me think of having a fireplace, and once you just sit next to it and you feel so comfortable and so safe, and you can just relax. You don't have to worry about anything. You can just sit down. You don't have to really, your mind doesn't run away or doesn't overthink. It's just, I'm here and I will enjoy what's right in front of me. And the reason why I'm mentioning that fireplace and the element of fire, it's because we have Full Moon in Leo, and then we also have the Page of Wands in reverse. So Wands are a fire element, and then Leo, it's also a fire sign. So here there is that nice balance of having the earth and fire. And actually in astrology, these two elements are opposing one another, because earth, it's all about the practical life, and sometimes we can get really trapped in that, be trapped in all of these daily routines, things that we do regularly, and we just have that goal and we go for it. But with fire, it adds enthusiasm, it adds intention, it adds inspiration. So I feel that not only you are a practical person, but you also have this fire in you. You have a passion, something that you really go for and something that you really want to do. So once you feel like, okay, I've had my lunch and I'm wearing comfortable clothes and I feel really good, so now I will do something that really interests me. I will follow, I will do a hobby, whatever I like. So it's a really nice energy here. With that full moon in Leo saying don't let pride get in your way, I don't really see it that way. I don't really think that there is excess of pride in your energy, but it's about keeping your head up high, so not letting other people take you down or not letting other people perhaps shame you in any way. So instead of people saying, oh, you're always focused on this and you're always focused on that, it's boring, you don't just say, oh no, probably they are right, and maybe I should find some more exciting hobby. I feel like you're able to just keep your head up high and say, look, this is what I enjoy doing, and I will stand up for myself, and I will really I will protect myself from all these other people and all of their negative views or what they are projecting on me. And I feel like that connects with this energy I got here with that blue lace agate crystal, just speaking what's on your mind. And it doesn't have to be something violent and something sudden saying, oh yeah, just shut up, go away. It's gentle but really firm, the way in which you would assert yourself. And the reason why I mentioned the projection, when people are projecting certain issues on you, I feel like you can really see what's true and what isn't, and that's because of these 8 of Swords here. So traditionally in the Rider-Waite tarot deck, the 8 of Swords would be somebody who is tied up and has their eyes tied up as well, and it talks about self-imposed limitations, even though that person would be able to free themselves from it. So because this card is in reverse, it's telling me that you are not a prisoner of your own thoughts. You are not, you don't give in to illusions that our mind can sometimes give us. So, for example, thinking, oh no, I cannot do it. No, this is too much. No, this is too complicated and I don't have enough experience and I will just not do it. I will just give up and I will surrender. And this is something purely in our mind. This is something that is our insecurity that's holding us back. It's ourselves who do all the self-sabotage. But here, because you do have that earth energy about you and you do have that fire, you are able to approach things in a practical way first. So it's like with this Page of Pentacles, you're able to look very closely at whatever your goal is, really inspect it, look at it from each side and identify all of these different steps that you need to take. So even just making a list, making a spreadsheet, anything it is, you're able to just follow through it. So having the framework, the really practical things first, and then with that fire, that's what keeps you going, because you know how to motivate yourself. And instead of being stuck in your mind on step 1, thinking, how do I go about it? You identify all these little steps and then you take action, because to me, fire element, it's about action, it's about our energy. So here, I feel like for you, it's all about keeping the right proportions, because if you think about it, when you have fire and earth, if there's too much earth around the fire, it will die down and then that's it. It will be extinguished. But if you know how to constantly feed that fire, it will keep you going and it will be something that's very comforting. And I feel like that's what makes you beautiful. You have that very comforting presence about you. So when other people would be around you, they would feel safe, they would feel very comfortable. Because sometimes it makes me think of people who are disconnected from the earth element. And let's say you go out somewhere and you just feel so hungry and you can feel that, okay, I want to eat something, but I'm not going to mention it because maybe it's a bit awkward. And the other person doesn't even notice anything because, I don't know, maybe they're more connected to the air element. They're much more in their head. So here, I feel like if somebody would go out with you, then you would say, okay, why don't we get something to eat? Why don't we get something to drink? And also, oh yeah, I actually also need to go to the toilet, and I need to do that, and I need to do that. So people are like, okay, actually I can feel very comfortable about that person. I don't have to hide certain things. I don't have to pretend that certain realities of the physical world, do not relate to me. So very comforting presence, very warm, very reassuring as well. I would say a very loyal friend as well, somebody who's very stable, somebody who people can really count on you. Because when you say, okay, let's meet up at that time, let's meet up at that place, people know you will be there. And there won't be any surprises, any negative surprises here. Anything else here? The energy I get, it's more fixed. I feel like it's because of that Leo energy. So I feel like once you do find your way around things, you just continue and you keep building on top of it. So rather than shifting from one thing to another and be like, okay, I want to try this and I want to try that and I want to try that, you're able to really focus on your goal and work on it step by step. And I think it's also a beautiful thing, because when people are too distracted, they are scattered in all these different directions. But if you're able to really focus on one thing and really dig deep, then you can find much more in that area of life or in that project or hobby, because then you find the way in which you can work with that thing in a much deeper way. So it's not just a surface level interest, it's something much deeper. It just makes me think of actually it makes me think of crystals. So with the earth element, once you dig deeper into the earth, you can find all these crystals and all these beautiful things. So perhaps it might take a while to get to know you, but once people get to know you, they can really see that you're dependable, you're loyal, you're a very stable person, but you also have that warmth about you. And then you're also able to speak whatever is true to you, and you're not afraid of letting all these opinions and ideas out. Anything else here? I feel like just getting one more card to close off with the Moonology deck. Also, another thing I've noticed, maybe you're very flexible, because on this card there is a person who's, I think, doing a yoga pose. So maybe you're really flexible as well. And people can see that in the way you move, the way you carry yourself. All right, so just one more card. And also with that Leo, perhaps your hair is very, it really stands out. People are jealous of your hair. Okay, just one more card to close off. What makes you beautiful, group 1? Okay, and we have the full moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. So again, Sagittarius, it's a fire element. So even more fire here. So again, as I said, having the goal, focusing on one thing, and then you take your bow, you direct it into right in the center. And once you have all the preparations, you're able to just release it and achieve any goals that you want. Sometimes it might feel like it takes a while because of all that earth energy. Sometimes it might feel a bit slow, but I feel that it's better to build slowly and have something long-lasting than go for it and then build something that is going to just be destroyed soon because you haven't solidified it. So yes, also it would tell me, this card, that you're quite lucky. So things work out in your favor, and if you do have a plan, then somehow naturally things align in a very auspicious way. Okay, so I think that's it for group 1. This is what makes you beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Hello group 2, if you chose this flower vase, this is your reading. So we are looking at what makes you beautiful. And it can be anything, whether on the physical level, the energetic level, whatever it is, how you deal with different things in your life. And yes, So what I've done for the previous group, I just pulled a card from each of the decks, and I'll just see. I will see what elements there are, what sort of energies are being the most dominant, and yes, we will see. Okay, so let's get the first card. So this one is the Margaret Peterson Tarot deck. So just one card from here. Okay, so just one card. Group 2. What makes group 2 beautiful? Let's pick this one. Okay, then I will choose one from the Moonology deck. Okay, and then one from the Ethereal Visions. Okay, this one. Then the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. Just one card. And then if I need, I can always draw more cards if I need any clarification. Okay, what makes group 2 beautiful? This one. And then the Rider-Waite. But yeah, for the previous group, I started with the sort of impression I get from the object. So here, what I'm getting, it's very down to earth, very natural energy. And the reason why I'm saying that, it's just because of the colors. They are very natural, they are very gentle, but also because of that flower, the bluebell, and then the dragonfly, it's something very calm. It's like going on, having a day off and going to the countryside, and you can just relax and you feel so connected to nature and feeling that you're part of something bigger. So perhaps that's what makes you beautiful. You are so connected to nature that people can see it, that you live in harmony with nature, that you're not trying to fight certain things, you're not trying to go against the cycles, you just go with them, you just connect. Anything else I'm getting with that? Also, it made me think of the way you dress. Perhaps you wear very, I don't want to say minimalistic, but very natural looking outfits. So the sort of fabrics, instead of, I don't know, like polyester and all these plastics, you wear natural fiber, something like linen, cotton, wool. So people can see it. People can see that it's something of high quality, but it's also something natural. And quite simple cut, simple forms. And it creates a very coherent look. So instead of having pieces, each of them look different and they just kind of, to me it's more harmonious. It's much more, it's very easy on the eye, if I can say so. Okay, one more card. And we'll see how that will go together with all of the cards. Okay, group 2, what makes you beautiful? All right, let's start. So what do we have here? We have the moon, and this is so interesting because when I was taking the cards from the previous group and I shuffled them, this card fell on the floor. So it really wanted to show itself. Okay, surrender to the divine, full moon. Okay, it's very strong. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Then Wheel of Fortune in reverse. That's why I like using different decks so much. I mean, it's the same card and both of them are reversed. What are the chances of that? And then we have the Six of Swords in reverse. With this reading, I don't pay that much attention to cards in reverse, but we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen here. So the first thing that really jumped out to me, we have the moon, which is round, surrender to the divine, full moon, Wheel of Fortune and Wheel of Fortune. So a lot of roundness. So that's what I said, being connected to the cycles of things, being aware of them. And I feel like once you are aware of any cycles, whether it is the cycle of the moon or whether it is some bigger cycles like with the universe, with astrology, the planetary cycles, once you know how they work, you are able to just live in harmony with them, and then you don't have to struggle with I don't want to say struggle with life, but there's always some challenges. But it seems just flowing, it's just effortless. And whereas people go through different issues in their lives where they would have some conflict or situations that are not as comfortable, or there's some difficult things they have to deal with, I feel that you can just glide through life. It doesn't mean you don't experience negative experiences, but still I feel like it's much more smooth. It's not as I feel like it's letting life happen and you just act based on that rather than trying to force or push your way through. And I think that's very beautiful, because there's a certain feeling of just accepting that sometimes things are what they are and there's no need to really push ahead and to try to manipulate things and go against the grain. You're like, okay, well, let's just wait. The wheel is always turning. So today I might be at the bottom, but tomorrow I will be at the top. So this is very adaptive, very mutable energy. It makes me think of Pisces, actually, with that moon card. So yes, talking more about the moon. We have two cards that talk about the moon. And here it can talk about the water element. I'm getting mainly Pisces and Cancer here with that moon card. And actually moon is ruled by, moon rules the sign of Cancer. So if I'm focusing on that energy, it would tell me that you are very sensitive and very emotional. You can really connect to people on that level, and people can really feel it. It's not something that you talk about. It's not something about the words that are being spoken. It's more about the aura, the sort of energy around you, that when people are around you, they just feel for some reason that they can perhaps show their emotions. They can really be vulnerable with you. Well, for better or for worse. You don't always want every single person saying what hurts them and what happened last week and why they cried. But it's because you have that sensitivity. People are not afraid of really show their true selves to you. It's almost like if you would be lost somewhere and you want to ask another person for directions, and you look around people and in a split of a second you just make a decision to talk to one specific person to ask them. And I feel like it would be you, because there's that very how would I describe that? It's on an energetic level, it's a feeling of closeness, of feeling, oh, this person is gentle, they will not hurt me, they will not make fun of me, they will not discipline me. It's very nurturing energy. And that's of course the energy of the moon, because Cancer, it's the mother energy. It's somebody who's very nurturing, who really wants other people to feel comfortable and well and to feel at home. So that's a very beautiful energy. And if I would be talking about Pisces energy, there's that psychic flavor to them, when you are able to just intuitively predict certain things. And I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune, in some way you are connected to the universe. So perhaps when you meet somebody new, then you would say to your friends, oh yeah, I get this and this feeling. And other people say, no, really? I didn't get that. I'm not sure. And then in a couple of weeks, it turns out that you were right. And people would say, wow, yeah, you were right at the beginning. I wish I would listen to you. But you don't use it to say to other people, ha, I was right. Yeah, I'm always right, you know. My intuition is always on point. No, it's much more of an inner energy. You just keep it to yourself. It's this quiet inner knowing that it's very beautiful about you, and it's almost like, yeah, other people can feel it as well. Even if it's not conscious, they can see that you know, you know what's ahead. It's almost like going on a trip and you're on a bus and you have no idea where that bus is going because, I don't know, you're abroad, you've never been there, you can't speak the language, you don't know what's happening. And that person that sits right next to you, they look like they know exactly what is the next stop, what will be the next, I don't know, the scenery and the sort of points that are characteristic. They know everything. So that's why that's why people might be very intuitively drawn to you, because in some way you know. And that's what that Six of Swords makes me think of. It's as if you are that person who is in charge of the boat, and other people say, oh, you know, I just want to get on the boat, I have no idea what to do, and you are there to assist others. You are there to really help them transition from one energy to another. Maybe you listen to other people and you let them express their emotions. So at the beginning they come to you with very chaotic feelings. They feel that they're all over the place, they have no idea what's happening, and then you take them onto a journey. You let them transition from confusion into much more calm and understanding state. Also, because we have that moon twice, we have the Wheel of Fortune twice, and that Six of Swords, I mean, I pay more attention to the water rather than the swords. On a physical level, there's something that's very soft about you, whether it's the face features, whether it's the face, that it's more round, maybe really big eyes, and if you have, I don't know, like even the eyes, they seem quite, I don't want to say watery, I don't know, maybe you cry a lot, or you're very easily moved. But it's something gentle. The first impression that you make on people, it's very calm. And I feel like, you know, once you see people, you can maybe not predict their personality on the way they look, but you can get the first impression, that sort of initial energy that is about them. So for you, it is something very gentle and soft. And it's nothing to be, it's nothing to hide, because I feel like in the society we live in, it might be easier to hide that, because other people can take advantage of it once they see that somebody is more sensitive. It's very easy to pick on that person and take advantage of their empathy. But here, I feel like you know how to go about things, and there's no need to hide your sensitivity, because it's something that is such an integral part of you that it cannot be hidden. Eventually it will come out. It's just like with the moon. It might be the new moon where you don't really see it on the sky, but then eventually it will build up and you can see it in its full glory. But yeah, even just that the title here, Surrender to the Divine, and that Wheel of Fortune twice, to me it's saying that you just surrender, and it's not a weakness, it's actually a strength, because to me it takes a lot of strength, in my opinion, to really let things happen and not have to be in control all the time. And I feel like there's also something here about being disconnected or not being as identified with ego. This is much more subconscious energy with the moon. Things that come in your dreams, things that come to you as visions or as intuition, you're really connected to it. And maybe other people see you as a very mystical person, even if you're not connected to anything like, you know, mediumship or tarot or astrology. There's that aura about you that's a bit more magical, a bit more mystical. So it's very beautiful. It's such a Piscean, Neptunian energy. I really like that. And anything else here? I feel like you can see things that other people do not see, and you see a way through any difficulties, and you let the universe help you, you let the universe guide you through it. It's that trust in the universe. Anything else I get here? Let's get one more card from this deck. I feel more drawn to this one. And any final messages, anything else about what makes you beautiful. And actually, if you just let me look at this card, because it was in reverse. See, here with this illustration, it's as if some people are saying, oh, you know, I'm just so, the life has stirred me in these directions and I'm just so unhappy, and you're able to just make the most out of it because you know the wheel will eventually turn, and you are comfortable in that state. And I think it looks like they are spinning some wool, so there's all these threads here. So letting the universe help you spin the thread of life. Oh, I have no idea what that means, but that's what just came to me. And you're able to stay positive about it. And you know, if there are any setbacks, they are only temporary. Okay, one more card. Okay, well, these two cards came out. And it's the 10 of Pentacles, so even more wheels. It's the 10 of wheels in this deck. And then the 9 of Cups. So you are able to manifest whatever you want. And because to me, 9 of Cups, it is the wish fulfillment. So it's letting the universe steer you in the right direction towards whatever you want to manifest. But at the same time, I see this energy of being humble, even if you have the 10 Pentacles, even if you have all of the good luck and material wealth, you know that the universe gives, but it can also take away. So you don't feel like, oh, I will just show off. You're much more, you're really classy about things. You don't just boast about them. You don't say, I'm the best. You know, I can see things and I know exactly how to use it for my advantage. No, it's a much more calm inner knowing. And you just have learned to deal with the ebb and flow of life and how the energy works. So yes, that's a very lovely energy. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and yes, I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 3, if you chose this green vase, this is your reading, and I will look at what makes you beautiful. So far we had very lovely messages in the previous two groups, so let's hope it will be like this for this group as well. So yes, what I've done with the previous groups, I picked one card from each of the decks, and then I would get an extra card at the end. We'll see how it works. So first of all, let's get the first deck. So this is the Margaret Peterson Tarot. So just one card for group 3, what makes you beautiful. So just one card, what makes group 3 beautiful. Okay, this one. Then the Moonology deck, what makes group 3 beautiful. Okay, here. Then the Ethereal Visions. And I don't really pay too much attention to cards in reverse in this particular reading, but we'll see. We'll see how it will work out. So group 3, what makes you beautiful? Here. Then the Tower of the Golden Wheel. One card here, and then the Rider Waite. Okay, I saw what this one is, so I'll just take it. And the star also showed itself, so I will keep that in mind. Okay, before I start, I just wanted to quickly talk about what energy I get from this vase. So, to me, it's very... It feels quite... I mean, compared to the other ones, it's quite tall, but in a way that it's very... I would use the word sophisticated. It's very in good taste, and that color to me also feels quite royal in a way. It feels like some royal jewels, things like that. So very refined, very refined energy. And perhaps people can see this in the way you carry yourself, that you always have your back straight, you always have your chin up, and you don't let any worries in your life affect the way you present yourself. Maybe in terms of fashion, you're always well dressed, very elegant, and you know how to appear. And I think I already used the word elegant, but you know, instead of wearing some sportswear and things like that, instead of being very casual, to me there's a lot of elegance, knowing the right clothes for your body type, for example, and using them to your advantage. So yes, but well, let's see with the cards what they will tell us. So we have the Eight of Cups, we have New Moon in Aries. Okay, I'm ready. Seven of Cups in reverse. You'll see why I'm laughing in a second. Then it's Six of Wands in reverse. And the card that jumped out is also the Seven of Cups in reverse. So it's interesting. We have 7, and we also have 8. So we have Cups, 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 and Wands. I mean, Wands as in fire, and fire here. So here, I do see it as perhaps switching between two different energies, because Cups energy, it's about water, it's about our emotions, our feelings, being sensitive. And then fire, it's about action, it's about motivation. So I feel that you know when to access your emotions, and then you know when to act. So it's not that you're all the time connected to this very sensitive Cups energy. There's a good balance, and I feel like people can see it. Okay, now I've just noticed something interesting. There's actually a little tea light, and it's burning the plant. So maybe that's a sign. You can notice certain things when there's too much of one element, and then you can tone it down. You can decrease it, so it's not always full force, because with Aries sometimes it's like, okay, I'm just gonna do it and going for it 100%. But here with these other cards, it's as if, okay, let's just tone it down a little bit, because maybe it's too much. So having the right balance of things. It's interesting that the Seven of Cups showed up twice, and both times in reverse. So here, I feel like you know what you want. You will not be confused by having extra options. So here with the Seven of Cups, it usually talks about having a choice. But this choice can be an illusion. So we think, oh, I could choose this, and I can choose that, and this, and this, and that. And we usually would waste time thinking about it. But with you know what is true, so you don't give in to the illusions, and you know what is the right thing to go for. And you do have the energy. You know when to take action with that new moon in Aries. And I think that's something very beautiful, because instead of staying confused and giving in to this illusion of choice, you know exactly what's happening, and you can just go for it. Being very decisive, I think people can really see it. Especially at work, when they think, oh, maybe I should do that, or maybe that's also a possibility, or should I also do that? while they are thinking, you've already identified all of these different things, and you know, okay, I'm not gonna go do this one also not good, not this one, okay, I'm going for this one. And while they're still thinking, you've already started working on things. Another thing that I get with this Eight of Cups and the Six of Wands in reverse, you know when to move on. So in the Rider-Waite deck, the Eight of Cups, it's about searching for more. So you have Eight of Cups, but you know there's 10 out there, and you're not afraid to leave things behind. You're not afraid to say, okay, at that time, maybe this was enough for me, but right now, I know there's more, and I don't feel scared to go for it. And this is the Six of Wands energy. And actually, in this context, I feel like it's good that it's reversed, because to me, when it's upright, sometimes it can show a lot of pride, saying, look, this is what I have accomplished, and this is mine, and you know, I've won, I'm number one. But in reverse, you know how to maybe let that ego down a little bit, just not listen to it as much. So instead of thinking, oh, I've already built so much and oh, I should just keep to it, you know that, okay, I want to move on because I know there's more, and my ego will not keep me trapped in this place. And just connecting to this energy of elegance, I feel like it's a very elegant way of approaching things. So instead of holding onto things and saying, no, this is mine, like, you won't take this from me, you're like, yeah, if you want, that's yours. I know I can get something better. I know there's still good things waiting for me. And just intuitively, I get a feeling of abundance, that you know that there's always something else. You will not miss out on things. You will not be left with nothing. Because that's sometimes what keeps people trapped. They feel like there's nothing else waiting for them. So that's why they would prefer the illusion of having a choice rather than going for things, or then moving on from certain energies. Anything else? I want to look at this card. So here, I don't know if you can see, but there's this sea level, there's some mountains, and then you can see a lot of the water, what's happening underneath. So I wonder if you can also sense what is happening below the surface. You're connected to something deeper, and this is why you know there's more to things. You know that you will not be left with nothing. Anything else here? Yeah, there's a lot of depth here, so it's not just about taking action and being decisive. I feel like you can really feel that there is more to life, or that it's not only about black and white. It's either yes or no, or this way or that way. You know there's other ways around. And I feel like that's why people could come to you for advice, because you not only know what is an illusion and what isn't, you know how to take action with that new moon in Aries. So people might ask you for advice and be like, oh, I have this decision to make. What do you think? What would you advise me to do? So I see you as a very confident person. You just know what you're doing. And people see that. And while with the previous group, there was a feeling of being connected to cycles and having inner knowing, more like psychic knowing, this is more about being connected to the sense of self with Aries. And by knowing what's happening right now, being able to predict the future, because that's the logical way to go about it. Anything else here? Yeah, I feel like not being bothered by showing off your victories. Instead of running around on a horse and waving a flag and saying, look, I won. It's like, I know I won. I know that, and I don't have to prove it to anyone. So it's just, yeah, it's very elegant. It's very diplomatic. It's not in your face, I won and you've lost. It's like, I know I've won, I don't have to broadcast it wherever I go. So yeah, standing very tall, being very confident, being very decisive, and just going after what you want and not letting other people stop you. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like you don't pay attention to what other people, how other people feel, but you don't let other people slow you down. Because I feel like you know that eventually people will adapt. And if you keep yourself down, if you keep yourself stuck in that state of, oh, what will I choose? Will I go that way or will I go that way? If I go that way, maybe that person will be offended. And if I go that way, then somebody else will be offended. You're like, well, no matter whichever way I go, somebody will be offended. So I might just do whatever I want and people will have to adapt. So it's a really nice energy. I quite like that. Anything else? I want to grab one more card from this deck. Okay, so anything else for group 3? What makes you beautiful? Let's see, what makes group 3 beautiful? Okay, and we have the 7 of coins. And it's interesting, we have 777. So maybe you should look that number up. Maybe it will give you some extra messages. But here, that card to me, it says being connected to whatever happened in the past, because that's these sort of drawings that make me think of the past. So you know the past, you know what's happening right now, you're connected to who you are, and then you're able to kind of predict what's going to happen in the future. And at the same time, to me, 7 of coins, it's very patient energy. You know when to act, but you know when to wait. So you're not rash in making your decisions. You know when to wait. And to me, 7 of coins also would suggest being grounded, having both of your feet on the ground. So it's not just some inspirations and visions and acting based on that. You know when is the good time to act and when it would be beneficial to just wait. Anything else here? No, I think that's more or less it. So just to summarize that, what makes you beautiful? You really know what to do and when to act, and not giving into any illusions and not letting your ego take over you. And then just being able to follow your own path in life and not letting other people slow you down. So then many people can come to you to for advice, and maybe they would like some of your confidence and some of your energy, and being able to just go directly at what you want. So yes, that's it, group 3. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hello, group 4. If you chose this vase, this is your reading. So I'm looking at what makes you beautiful. It's been really lovely with all the previous groups. I've got some really lovely messages, so we will see what will come up in your group. So what I've done for the other 3 groups, I just pulled one card from each of the decks and then an extra card just to see an extra messages. And yes, that's it. So let's get started. I will first shuffle the Margaret Peterson Tarot. So just one card about what makes you beautiful. So this is group 4. What makes group 4 beautiful? Now that I think about it, this is not really a flower vase, it's something else. I mean, it can be, but it has this little top to it. So well, maybe you're different than other people in a very positive way. People can really see it. And also, what made me think, another kind of thing that this reminded me of, that's because this is the only one that has something to cover the top. Maybe you're seen as quite mysterious person, like you're hiding something that other people don't have access to, and that's what's very intriguing. And people really want to know, what are they hiding? What is it? What is their secret? So yes, it might be quite mysterious to people. Okay, let's just get one card. So what makes group 4 beautiful? Right, group 4 here. Next, the Moonology deck. What makes group 4 beautiful? And also the sort of color, I don't know if you can see it, but it makes me think of a pearl. So something that can be hidden in the depths, but then once you find it, it's something very valuable. So maybe it takes a while to get to know you, but once you do show who you are, people really value you as a friend. Okay. Group 4. What makes you beautiful? Okay. Then the ethereal visions. Just one card. Here. Okay. Then the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. And with these cards, with this reading, I don't pay as much attention to cards in reverse, but we'll see how it goes. So far it's been interesting. With two of the groups I got the same card twice with two different decks, so I'm really curious if this will happen here as well. Okay, and then the last card is the Rider-Waite Tarot. Okay, what makes group 4 beautiful? Card. All right, so let's see, what do we have? No way, it's the same card as in the previous group, and I really shuffled that deck. So if you feel drawn to group number 3, maybe there's some messages in there for you. We have Full Moon in Capricorn, and this card just yeah, I'll take it upright. It's the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and then the Nine of Cups. Alright, so the first energy that I get with that Full Moon in Capricorn and the Knight of Pentacles is that you are a very hard worker, and people can really see it. It's something that people can really admire about you, that you can really dedicate yourself to the task, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how much responsibility you have to take. You just do it. You just go for it, and you work hard, and you really feel like, this is my duty, so I will go for it. And no matter what happens, no matter if it will be a very hard task, I will still do it. It's like climbing a mountain, doing it little by little and having that perseverance to really climb it, while other people can just say, I can't be bothered, I'll just take a break, I will just leave it for another day. You stay focused. You really stay focused on it. And people can see it. People know that, oh, if I give this job to this person, they will always do it on time, and they will make sure that they don't cross the deadline. They will always, finish everything on time, and it will be the highest quality. So, very hardworking, practical energy. And also because we have the Knight of Pentacles and then the Full Moon in Capricorn, this is Earth element. So, being very connected to the physical realm, being aware how much time things take, and being really realistic about it as well. So instead of having some great visions about, ooh, what could I do? And, oh, this is possible, everything is possible. You're like, well, it might be possible, but it will take tons of time and tons of resources. So maybe it's not worth it. So you're able to really tell what is important, what isn't, and that kind of fits the previous group as well. There's been a similar energy. Here it's much more grounded, much more focused on doing the work and continuing with it. Then with the other cards, I feel like with the Page of Swords, the swords usually talk about our mind and how do we communicate, how our mind operates. So here there is curiosity, because to me page is a very youthful energy, somebody who maybe doesn't have all the experience, but they are willing to just go for it, and they're willing to discover. So here with that Page of Swords, now I'm just looking at that winter scenery, it's so connected to Capricorn and Saturn. So even if there are some difficulties and you're standing in the middle of I don't know, some field, and there's lots of snow, and it's snowing and it's cold, you still have that curiosity about whatever you're working on. So it's not just following the guidelines, it's not just doing step 1, step 2, step 3, but your mind is constantly looking for new ways of doing things, or trying to discover something else. So it's not just mindless repetition of things. You're like, oh, maybe this could be improved, and then I could also do that, and then on top of that I could do that. So I feel like people can see it about you, that your mind is still open to learning new things and to discovering perhaps new avenues of improvement. But here I also feel there's a willingness, or maybe not willingness, but being ready to, in a way, defend your approach to life. Because maybe some people could say, oh, well, that's just boring, and you're slow. How can you do that? You know, that's just, you should be quicker. You should be more this. You should be more that. And with the Page of Swords, you're like, no, this is how I do my job. This is how I do things. And you either like it or you don't. I just don't care. You know, that's how I do things. And because of that mindset, you are able to manifest whatever you wish, because 9 of Cups, it's the wish fulfillment card. So you've worked hard, you've climbed a mountain, another mountain, and another mountain, and then at the end of the day you sit with all these cups. I see it as medals, like this is all the things that you have achieved, and you're so proud of it, and it took so much hard work. And I feel like it's inspiring to people, because they see that hard work pays off, and they can see in your life that you've spent so much time working on things and maybe struggling with different areas of life, but at the end of the day, you really achieved something stable, something very worthwhile, and you can just sit down and enjoy whatever you have worked on. So instead of jumping from one thing to another, you dedicated your energy into one thing, and you have that wish coming true. And it's interesting, we also have the 8 of Cups. So the way I described it for the last group, it's that knowing when to look out for more, knowing when to move on. So it's, because for this group, it's, to me, there's a strong energy of resources, of using what you already have and making good use of it. So here it's, you know, once a specific resource runs out, you know when to move on, when to find a new way of doing things. So it's not just jumping from one thing to another when you encounter any difficulty. It's getting through the difficulties and then saying, okay, this is it, I made as much as I could, and then I can move on and search for more. And that's how you get to the 9 of Cups. Because I feel like with some people, when they are, they have a lot of earth in their chart, they are very practical, they would focus on one thing and they would repeat the same things. It's like, how is it called in English? Beating a dead horse or something like that. It's that horse is already dead, you know, there's no more resources there. Why are you still continuing? But you're not afraid to recalibrate. That's what I would say. So you are dependable, you're very practical, you're hardworking, but if you see, okay, this is not taking me anywhere, it's just doing the same thing over and over, and it's just pointless, then moving on, and then getting to wherever you want. In terms of physical features, I do get a very stable impression. So just even the way somebody walks, or the way, I don't know, they sit down or they stand up, you can see that they have both feet on the ground, and they are very they are down to earth, basically. So maybe people see it about you, and while the other groups, they were much more fluid and much more sensitive and just imaginative. With you, I feel like if you would be in a room of people and then somebody would have to choose a person who will do the job right, they would choose you, because you just have that aura of being reliable, and whatever is given to you, you will do it on time and you will do it perfectly well. So it could also be reflected in the way you dress, perhaps very classical things, maybe darker colors, something very practical. You know, like that's always what my mom used to say whenever I wanted to buy something white. She'd be like, no, white, that's going to be very difficult to wash and it gets dirty quick. So maybe you think, okay, I will just wear all black because it's practical. I don't have to think in the morning what fits what color. It's just all the same color, so I don't have to waste my time. So maybe something like that. And I feel like this whole energy is very beautiful, because working hard and being very dedicated to your work, it's something really great. And knowing when to move on, knowing when to redirect your energy, that's also something very valuable to have. And while sometimes it's fun to hang out with people, you know, who are so energetic and exciting and they just do everything, having somebody reliable in your life, no matter what, it's just an incredible thing. And people can see this about you, and I hope you see this about yourself as well, that if you commit, you do commit for real. Anything else? Yeah, I feel like maybe the first impression that you would make on people, there could be a bit of a distance. Yeah, it's like being a bit closed off, and maybe even, well, I will say this, maybe a bit cold to some people, that you don't show your emotions as much. But once people get to know you and they can see what's inside, then they really connect to you. They know that you're reliable and you're a really warm person as well. I want to get one more card from this Moonology deck. But I think you're also quite mindful about who you let into your life. So maybe you don't have as many friends, but they're somebody who you've been friends with for a long time, or they're really reliable, and you know that no matter what, you can count on them. Okay, one more card. What makes group 4 beautiful? Okay, well, that card wanted to jump out. Hold your vision, fixed moon. So yeah, you can definitely hold your vision and you can really work on things. You have a vision and you just go for it. While other people, they can get sidetracked, they see something else sparkling in the distance and they pursue it and they jump here and there. It might feel more exciting that somebody is doing something different each week, but then at the end of the day, you're the one with 9 of Cups because you've built your prosperity, you've really built whatever you wanted to work for, and you got the reward. Fixed moon, also fixed signs, they would talk about Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius and Leo, if that is important for you. But fixed moon being fixed on an idea and really working on it hard. So yeah, instead of jumping from one thing to another, you really know how to commit. And it is a beautiful thing, because if we wouldn't commit to anything, I don't think we would achieve much. So, anything else? Yeah, also even the colors, these sort of dark blue, black, maybe earthy colors, more browns, that's what's jumping out to me. So maybe you're showing that in the way you dress. You don't want too many patterns or not too many colors, things that are toned down, things that are practical. Anything else I'm getting here? I mean, because we have cups, there is that emotional side to you, but I feel like because it's 8 and 9, it takes a while from the ace. So we have ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So once somebody goes through all of these all of these stages, this is when you show your more emotional sides. So I think it's good, you know. It's as if people have to work their way through. They have to really prove themselves to you, and once they do get to that 8 and 9, they can feel, wow, I really feel connected to this person, and I know that their feelings are genuine. It's not something that they just fake, or they are being too emotional, or they are exaggerating. So very stable personality, very grounded and down to earth. Okay, well, I think this is it for group 4. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!